I'm not necessarily competing with anybody else. It's me versus me every time I wake up. Most people want to learn something,
Mm-hmm.
but the person that I am, I'm trying to learn something from you. One
Yeah.
of my mentors in college always told me, he said, no matter what you think about a person, you can always learn something from a person.
Right.
So I never go into a conversation thinking that I'm finna teach somebody something.
Yeah.
If they catch something in our conversation, then they catch it. But my goal is to learn something from you if I just met
So,
you. What's going on, cuz?
what's up? How you doing, man?
Chilling, man, chilling.
Let's get in here. Okay. So, first of all, man, thanks for sitting down with me.
Man, thanks for having me.
Appreciate you, man. We're doing these non-combos, man. Non-combos now over never. Trying to inspire the people, man. A lot of people out here want to press forward, want to do things, want to
Mm-hmm.
accomplish things, want to start things, want to finish things. But they have obstacles, as we all do,
Yeah,
right? Fear, certain reservations, maybe things from their childhood past that's crippling them from either continuing or starting.
mm-hmm.
And so my goal with these is just in different ways to try to help people see in real time people
Yeah,
that have overcome and are
yeah,
still overcoming and still trying to figure out ways and paths with whatever they're doing. So that's what we're here to
yes,
talk
sir.
about. And all with all of it, man. Like I said, this is not a interview, right?
Yeah, it's a conversation.
Conversation, man. I want to start with the kids though, man, because I
Mm-hmm.
think that to me is that's the one I feel like that hits for me.
Yeah,
You're coaching
yeah,
right now, so you're coaching multiple things. So
yeah.
tell the people what you're doing right now.
So first of all, I coach as a way to give back,
Okay.
right? And so I told my kids this weekend at state, and I've told the middle schoolers this before, and it won't. I don't think it'll hit home for them until they get a little older and mature and recognize the type of coaches that they have had, and
Right.
then who I
Yeah.
am. I don't. There's a lot of coaches that coach for them.
Mm.
They trying to make their name great.
Yeah.
I'm coaching to prepare you for the next level, so you'll be better than what I was.
Yeah.
And so take me into what I coach. I coach basketball, middle school and high school at Luther North.
Okay.
Um, and I coach track and field, varsity track and field at Luther North. I'm the sprint coach, as well as I coach for the Blues,
Okay.
AAU. The Blues is the oldest standing track and field organization, summer track and field organization in St. Louis. 50 years.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, this is year 51.
Right.
Yeah.
And you were a part of that
Yeah,
legacy.
so I grew up running for the Blues. I started when I was 6 years old,
Mm-hmm.
all the way down to Auntie Lori coming to my first meet.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to love Nutri-Grain bars. You know,
Yep.
Granny used to bring a Nutri-Grain bar to church every Sunday.
Yep. 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 That was your go-to.
So Auntie Lori was waving a Nutri-Grain bar and was like, "If you win, you can have this." I didn't hear what she said. I just saw the Nutri-Grain, so I ran off the track.
Mm-hmm.
Like I ran over to the fence to grab the Nutri-Grain bar. My dad told me to get back on the track. I ran back on the track and still won the race.
Wow. Motivation.
Yeah,
Motivation,
yeah.
man.
She said if I win, I can have that. So I
Yeah.
don't care what happens.
Yeah. Let me get that first, and then I'll go take care of this race.
Yeah, I coach now as my way to give. That's my way of giving back. I view it as somebody did it for me, and they
Mm-hmm.
may have been going through life circumstances. They may have been tired, but they still showed up to practice and put all that behind to help me get to where I wanted to go. So
Yeah.
now it's my turn.
And you're finding success with your coaching, man.
Man,
And
yeah,
that's always rewarding, not necessarily from the standpoint of winning, but from the
yeah,
standpoint of watching the individuals that you are
yeah,
inspiring and that you're encouraging and that you're teaching to have them have an experience of what it takes to get to that point.
yeah.
Yeah,
In life, after
that's
this,
good.
when you leave from me, when something happens, don't just look at it as a bad situation. What can you learn from this? If you approach every situation like, what can I get out of this? You'll be a lot better person,
Yeah,
and you'll appreciate life a lot more.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. What have you seen? And like I said, you've seen people go off and graduate, all these things. Like, what have you seen from people that you used to coach? You run into them, they run into you, they
Hmm.
reach out to you. I'm sure they're probably calling you, while
Yeah,
they're in college and all that stuff. What have you seen? Things that you've instilled that you've seen in real time action that people are using.
man. I'll use this. So Antonio Doyle,
Mm-hmm.
top 5 recruit in the nation, went to University of Texas.
Okay.
Um, living the life down there. They was paying for everything
Mm-hmm.
and taking good care of him. Jackson State called. He went to Jackson State to play for Primetime.
Mm-hmm.
Primetime left. He had the opportunity to go. I talked to him before he went. He was here in St. Louis. He said, "Coach, man, what you think?"
Mm-hmm.
And I said, what do you think is more fulfilling to you?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to continue to follow a name and hope that it'll get you where you want to go? Or do you want to make a name for yourself and still get where you want to go?
Mm-hmm.
By now, you understand the work that it takes. So again, do you want to follow a name or do you want to make a name?
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
then
good.
that next week, he decided to stay at Jackson State instead of going to Colorado.
That's good.
And he said, Coach, I'm going to endure. And I'm going to get, if it was meant for me to get there, I'll get that.
Yeah.
I said, that's the man that you are.
Yeah.
You don't follow another man.
Right.
Follow you.
Yeah. In the culture that we're in now, everybody's chasing a thing.
Yeah.
Right. And they're basing it off of what they see.
Very weird.
You know, it's odd to me. Right? They're basing it off what they see. Like I tell people, I was just having a conversation with somebody earlier today, and we were just talking about online presence, social media, and all this other stuff everybody's doing, right? And they were talking about like, hey, I've changed up my format because, you know, the likes, I wasn't getting enough likes.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's wrong.
Yeah.
That's wrong. I said, because what you're doing now is like you're changing who you are.
Right.
To position yourself for what you think other people want to see.
Right.
We got the coaching the kids. What else you got going on?
Man, so just stay in the lane of sports for a second. St. Louis has a professional basketball team now called the St. Louis Griffins, where I'm the general manager and the strength coach.
Okay.
Opportunity just kind of fell in my lap. Won't tell. I don't have to go into that story
for sure.
But it fell in my lap, and I said absolutely because I immediately saw what this could do for the city. And at the time when I accepted it, that's before knowing that the Battlehawks were coming back. And that St. Louis, I knew St. Louis City, the stadium was being built, but I didn't know the impact that would have. Like, seeing how huge that stadium actually is, and seeing it packed, it's crazy. Because you would not, right? You would not think that St. Louis would support a minor league team like that. Like that stadium is huge and it's packed every game. Battlehawks packed every game. Now, where we differ from them is the fact that we don't have the advertising dollars right now.
For sure.
And so that's kind of what I've been working on. And I told the owners, Nate and LaWanda Griffin, first of all, shout out to them. Great owners, very caring owners, everything community based, like very. So I told them, I said, once I get it in my mind and I feel like God showed it to me, I get obsessed with it. Like, so I said, we have to play in the Schaefer's next year, next season. It's not an option. I done seen it. And once now my hand is on it, it has to work. I said, but what's going to come along with that is dollars. Because me being this good energy being focused in one direction is going to bring everything I need to make it happen.
That's good.
And he was like, hey, you got it. Just let me know what meetings I'm supposed to show up to. St. Louis Griffins is St. Louis pro basketball team. So a lot of people trying to figure out if it's one of the leagues like in St. Vincent's. Nothing against them, but this is directly connected to the NBA, right? So you got the NBA, you got the G League, then you have the TBL. So we have Summer League in Vegas, just like NBA and the G League. So what you guys to come out and support us. The number one thing people ask us, why we not like as seen as the Battlehawks in St. Louis City. We don't have those advertisement dollars right now. So that's something that we're working on. That's why we're here. And if you're watching and you want to help, reach out to me.
I think sometimes people in their pursuit of anything, they miss that. They're so busy trying to go that, like, where are you trying to go? What is the destination, right? Are you, like, I think I just mentioned this earlier, are you just swinging at something? Or I have a vision. And now I'm trying to take steps to get to that. So talk about how important it is to have a end goal.
Man, so, and I was talking to one of my mentees, I can't even remember which one it was, but I told him, I said, listen, man, when you planning something, you almost got to do what a GPS does. You got to go to the destination and then track it back so you can walk it forward. I said, so what's the goal? This is the goal. Okay, where are you at? I'm here. Now what's the in between? All right, now let's start back here where we actually are. Let's not lose sight of the goal, because in between here, it's not going to be as easy as we wrote it down. But I got to stay focused because there's a goal, and I spent all this time. I'm not wasting this time. I'm not throwing it away. I wasted time. I don't have time to waste. So it's very important that whoever's watching this, that you have a plan for whatever it is, and that you remember it and you stick to it. And I say that because, and let's talk God for a second. I'm not even gonna give specific scripture, but God has a plan for each of us, right? We are, but He also made us beings of choice. Now there are some choices that He would rather us make. But there are also choices that we decide to make that are not right.
It's us versus us every day.
God don't throw away the plan. because we made a bad decision.
Mm-hmm.
The plan is still a plan. He just got to reroute us.
Right.
You know, so in your plan and whatever you're planning, whoever's watching this, you just got to figure out how to reroute to get back on track.
Yeah.
You know, that's why it's important, because we're gonna have some things that knock us down, some things that blur our vision a little bit, some things that hurt. Some people gonna leave you. You know, but you gotta stay on the plan, because at the end of it, I think, well, I got to give scripture now because it's my favorite scripture, Romans 8:18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not to be compared to the glory that is yet to be revealed.
Yeah.
Meaning that suffering is inevitable, whatever it looks like.
Yeah.
But the glory is the success of me getting to the plan, me making it to the promised land.
Yeah.
You know.
I think to take it further too, since we're going that route, is I think the thing that I've always understood is it's never about me. It's never, even if it's something that I'm doing for some type of fulfillment, it's never about me.
Yeah.
Because even that vision that I'm trying to live out is what's given to me.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't given to me. I didn't wake up and just come up with it. That vision was given to me. This is for also anybody who is struggling with that goal. If you think of the fact that it's easy for you to say, I'm willing to take off today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to not go for the next week. I'm willing to take a month off from doing this because I don't feel like it. But if we had a peek into all the lives that our end goal is supposed to impact, I think it would drive everybody so much. So instead of like wondering or trying to get a glimpse into kind of what God is doing, just trust that, no, I gave you a purpose. You know, it's about people. Because that's all I'm here for, is trying to get these people, save souls. So you have to stay on your path, because you don't know at what point of your path is going to touch people and how it's supposed to.
Yeah. Absolutely. Man, it's funny that when we think this way, people look at it and they ask the questions like, how are you always so optimistic? It's because I know it's not me. Nothing that I'm doing, I planned by myself.
Yeah.
Like up in the living room, I got a vision board. Well, what some people would call a vision board, I call it my instructions for the year.
Yeah.
Because before the new year, I always sit with God and I pray and I say, what do you want me to do this year? What is it you want my focus to be on? What am I supposed to do? If God don't give me none, I wouldn't know what to do, because I'm not doing nothing on my own. I've been there, done that, didn't turn out good.
Right.
Not doing it again.
Right.
But it's funny. So when people say, you know, why are you always so optimistic? Why is it always a good day? Because I woke up. Meaning that there's still more for me.
That's good.
I woke up meaning that there's still something that's necessary for me to do, even if I don't feel good. It's something I'm supposed to do. So like you talked about, I can take off for a month. I know I can't take off for a month. Somebody's depending on me.
Yeah.
They might give up in that month.
Yep.
Like, so for instance, this is a great example. When I went on vacation, I said, I'm not posting Thank God It's Friday this week. Not doing it. And literally Saturday morning, 9 a.m., dude inboxed me, was like, bro, I was waiting on your Thank God It's Friday. Had a rough day yesterday. You always encourage us, you know. What's going on? You good? I was like, oh man, I'm great. I'm on vacation. He said, oh man, I just thought something was wrong. Like, I was like, no, bro, I just decided that I'll just wait till next Friday.
Yeah.
And he was like, I gotta wait a whole week.
Yeah.
And then it dawned on me, like,
yeah,
I don't know what he's going through. He checks my page every week.
Yeah.
To just listen for what I'm saying.
Yeah.
After that, I committed. I'm not missing no more Thank God It's Friday. Good morning. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Listen, this is a late post, but the message is still the same. You can't pray for the business and tell God how to do it. You can't ask to be debt free and tell God how to send the funds. You can't ask for a new circle and be mad about him removing people from your life. What I'm getting at is how God does it is none of your business. Good morning. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Listen, I just want to encourage you on this Good Friday by telling you things do get better. Yep, things do get better. And there's plenty of scriptures that I can pull from to help you in this. But I just want to share one of my favorites. And it says, the grass withers and the flowers fade, but the word of our God shall stand forever. That means that everything around me has an expiration date but God's word.
That goes back to what I was saying before, right? You think about, if you post Thank God It's Friday and you paid attention to oh, that one, they must not have liked that one because I didn't get as many likes on this one and this.
Right.
And then you say, I'm finna change my whole format. I'm finna start doing Wednesdays now, or I'm finna start.
Yeah.
You just stay the course. You don't know who and how. You just never know. You know that the vision was given. You know what the end goal is, what the purpose is, and now I just got to drive this thing, trusting God that He's going to land it where He wants it to land.
Yeah.
But all I got to do is be willing to drive.
Yeah.
I see you got a nice outfit on, you know, nice little 2-piece.
Yeah.
For the summertime.
Little razzle dazzle.
Let's talk about what you got on, man.
Okay, so this is my brand, Secret Society. Something that I got this as just a tester to see how it would go, and I wore it on a cruise. And I was on a cruise, and I didn't have multiple of these. I just wanted to see what the reaction would be to it. And I was walking around the boat. So many people was like, "Bro,
where you get that?
Where
from?
Can I get that? Where you buy that from?" I said, "Well, right now it's one of one."
Secret Society. Where did that come from? What is that?
So Secret Society. So I'll tell you what it is, and then I'll give a backstory.
Okay.
Secret Society. I call it the proper place for a gentleman.
Okay.
Right. Somebody in a suit. It's not just normal to wear a suit no more. So you automatically think they're a part of something or they do something important. Like back in the day, all the real gangsters wore suits. Like that's just what it was.
Yeah.
So that's where the term Secret Society came from. May 16th, 2016, 4:30 a.m. I'm laying in bed, and I swear this is the first time that God clearly had a conversation with me in my dream. I was in a dream, and God was showing me different things that I was supposed to own. Now, at this time, I'm also struggling in college. Like, I go out to the refrigerator, I may have a whole meal, or I may have 2 meals that I got to make one. You know?
No, I know all about it.
Yeah, man. Just putting it together.
Yeah.
But in the dream, I basically was walking in a shopping mall, a strip mall, and it was just different businesses, and I'm thinking like one of them, you know, I'm just one of them. Mine. So first of all, I walked into the store, the Secret Society, and I saw what the store looked like. I saw what I was selling. God said, "This is yours." And people was coming out, and they was like, "Hey, boss." I was like, "You work for me?" It was like,
"Yeah,
are you okay?"
Yeah.
But the dream felt so real, so I walked out. And then I looked at my pocket because I had keys, and I looked at the car with key, and I was like, "Where is this car?" But it was the car that was on my iPad at the time. That was my dream car. And
wow,
God told me, He said, "Look around." So I looked around. The strip mall said Jackson Plaza, and then I kept looking around, and every store was something that God was trying to tell me that I needed to own somewhere in life. And He was like, "It's not going to be like this. This was just the best way for me to depict what."
Right. Put it all in front of you.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you said something earlier, and this is good. This is why I chuckled a little bit when you said it, because in that dream, God said they're not going to be in the same place, but they all work together. I mean, which is why one thing flows into the other thing. And so that's how that happened. And God gave me a list. I still got that notebook. I think it's at my parents' house actually, in the box that were from when I moved from college. It was 7 businesses then, but that has expanded over time. God don't give you everything in one, but He wanted to show me that the end goal for me was to prosper.
Yeah.
Jeremiah 29:11. At the time, it didn't feel good.
Yeah.
But now it feels a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And part of that is right staying faithful.
Yeah, man.
Through it, right? Because I'll tell you this. Like I think this is probably everybody's story where we feel like God ain't moving fast enough, right? And it's the biggest mistake that any of us can make is start trying to do things on our own, not seeking guidance, not staying connected. And just saying like, okay, I know that you have this for me, so let me go ahead and expedite the situation by doing the things that I already know.
Man,
the thing is the thing that He's trying to get us to, we don't know anything about, and so that's what we try to use old knowledge for new situations. You're gonna mess up every time.
I remember when I was living in Connecticut, and I was president of the young adult ministry there. I taught a Bible study called Rate of Grace.
Okay.
The Rate of Grace. And so it was basically talking about we on a trip, right? but we don't have the address we going to, so we can't put it in our GPS.
Mm.
We just got to follow the person in front of us.
Yeah.
I said, because naturally, when you put it in your GPS, I said, maybe you're not like me, but when I put something in my GPS and they tell me a time, I take it as a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting there before this time.
Yeah.
And I said, so if God knows that if he gave me where I'm supposed to be and told me the date I'm supposed to get there, I'm going to try to get there tomorrow.
Yeah. That's good.
So there's a rate of grace, and which is what keeps me calm, even though I saw where I'm supposed to go. If he given me a glimpse of the future, it keeps me calm because I know that I'm gonna get to everything I'm supposed to get to when I'm supposed to get to it. If I'm feeling a little anxious, I pray. You know, don't be anxious about anything, yet pray about everything. That's scripture. When God don't give you an instruction, you keep doing the last one that he gave you. Right? Because it's art, but on the other side of that, that means that there's something in that season that you haven't fully learned or grasped yet.
Yeah.
Because God knows if he gave me $1 million then, it would have been gone next week. Because I'd have been like, hey mama, you need a car? Hey granny, you need a car? Hey old man, I know you want that Cadillac. I still yep, you got it.
Right.
And at the end of it, I would have not had $1 million anymore.
Yeah.
But now I understand how to multiply that $1 million.
Yeah.
You know, so he just giving me the wisdom that I need a little bit at a time, so it soaks in and it stays where it needs to stay.
It's staying the course.
Yeah,
it's staying the course. It's perseverance. You know, and first chapter of James, that's what it's talking about. It's persevering, going through trials, seeing them through to the end, so that you can get to maturity.
Yeah,
right. And so you can't. That's what God is trying to do in each situation. It's trying to get us to a specific place so that He can say, okay, I can reveal this to you now.
Yeah,
I can reveal this to you now. But a lot of times, we want to get anxious. One of the biggest lessons close to that I've had is, I would say about 5 years ago, I was driving Uber for a little minute. And so because I had a few people that I knew did it, I was like, oh, I can make some little extra bread. What I did know is that when you get the rides, you don't know where you're going. It's just telling you have another pickup in this location. You go pick them up, and once they get in, it'll say, this drive is going to be 50 minutes, the drive is going to be 20 minutes, the drive is going to be 30 minutes. But when you're going to get them, you don't know. So you can say for yourself, like, okay, this is going to be my last drive for the day. It could be an hour and a half. You see what I'm saying? And so I learned so much in that little short period of time about how God wants our faith to work. Because all I'm telling you is that I need you to go take this here. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's all I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Right? You have to trust that you don't know if this is going to be a 20-minute drive.
Yeah.
And you about to make a couple of dollars off of it, or if this is going to be an hour-long drive that you're going to see a little bit more fulfillment from.
Man.
But either way, I'm sending you. I just need you to trust that the destination that I'm getting you to.
That's so good.
And all you need to do is go.
Yeah, you don't know if you're going to be comfortable or not.
And you don't need to know.
Yeah.
You don't need to know, because all you do know, you know who you are.
Yeah.
And you know who He is.
Yep.
Now, there's more.
Yeah.
There's more. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
One more thing. No. So I'll just kind of run down the list of things that I do from there.
Yeah.
Personal trainer, Legacy Fitness is the brand. Legacy Lawn Services. Just started that this year.
Okay.
Doing lawn care. Actively still trying to pick up yards. Just did a street over. She was like, "Hey, the whole block just knocked on the door." I was like, "Well, send them
on over." Yeah, for real.
Legacy Lawn Services. Of course, I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. I'm a member of 100 Black Men Metropolitan St. Louis, where I serve as the chaplain as well as the Emerging 100 president.
Okay.
We already talked about the Griffins. I feel like I'm missing something that I do.
I feel like it's something else.
My dad's a pastor.
Yes,
at First Baptist Church in Amwood Park.
Let's get into that.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Yeah. We'll take that turn. I don't even know whatever else that I do that I'd have missed. We just follow me on Instagram at BJ Flash. You'll see it somewhere.
Yeah.
But my dad's a pastor at First Baptist Church in Amwood Park. I have affectionately renamed it the Elm, just for branding purposes, and gave the backstory of what the elm tree meant, what an elm tree signified in Scripture days, Bible days. It was a place of victory, basically, in so many places, in so many words. It was a place of victory. So there I am. I basically run our live stream, and I'm worship leader alongside Miss Nisi.
Miss Niecy.
Yeah,
Okay.
she be shaking her
So
face off, man.
yeah. So let's talk about all of that, right? Because then that
Hmm.
goes a little bit into to kind of where we connect. Elmwood Park
Hmm.
is specifically in our family, but even in this city, I've come to find out is a monumental. It's a small but powerful place.
Yeah, yeah.
The history, the family history. First of all, my grandfather used to pastor that church.
Hmm.
Um, your father became, my uncle became the pastor, and then so there's so much family
Yeah,
intertwining lineage, members, things like that. But then also, I don't know if people know this, Donnie Hathaway and his
yeah,
family came through
yeah.
Elmwood, which is crazy because I didn't know at the time, but back when my voice was really high and they had me singing soprano on the grown choir,
Yeah,
Miss Jackie, his sister, used to lead us before Niecy came.
yeah,
So just all of this is a very historical place. And if you ask a lot of pastors and churches around, bigger churches, they all know about
yeah.
Elmwood. When I was a member as a child of Elmwood, I was just like, if enough people just came here and saw what was
Man,
happening here.
man.
And so now to see that like you've taken like this new
Yeah,
energy that's out here
yeah.
and applied it to this same little church. But now like anybody
Yeah,
can
no, for
come and get
sure.
some of this, right?
Yeah,
Like anybody, we talk about Niecy
yeah,
singing every Sunday, like everybody can get some of this if they want it,
yeah,
right? Or the word that your father is putting forth. My uncle was very powerful, pastor, minister, preacher.
yeah,
So now anybody, anywhere can get somebody. So
yeah.
talk about your intentionality and why did you feel like it was important to do that?
Um, so pre-pandemic, my cousin Keisha came to church one Sunday,
Mm,
and this is before old man had me praying every Sunday,
mm-hmm.
and he had called me up to pray. I don't even think I was living in St. Louis yet.
Yeah.
I wasn't even back. He called me up to pray, and whole church just went bananas.
God, thank you for favoring me, God. When I think about all the things that I've been through and that I made it out of, God, when I think about the people that I called and there was no answer, but I called you one time and you gave me what I needed. I called you one time and you comforted me. I called you one time and you eased my mind. I called you one time and you protected me. I called you one time and you guided me. I called you one time and you showed me love that I had never felt before. God, I'm glad that I could call on you.
And Keisha was recording it,
Mm-hmm.
and she said, "We should start recording."
Mm.
I said, "I don't live here."
Right.
But went back home, went back to Connecticut,
Mm-hmm.
and a few months later, God said it's time to go home.
Mm.
I said, "No, not going."
Mm-hmm.
I didn't plan on coming back to St. Louis ever.
Mm-hmm.
My in my head, my next moves were um, either Atlanta or Texas,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a plan.
Mm-hmm.
But this was the phase. This is the season where God was telling me that I'm not in control.
Yeah.
Put me through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Went as far as to where one night I was so mad I tried to punch the door. He took all the power out of my hand. I couldn't even punch the door.
Mm.
Like I got to the door, I just touched it.
Mm.
I said, "What just happened?"
Mm-hmm.
He said, "You told me that it was okay for me to be in control. This
Mm-hmm.
is what it looks like. I'm not allowing you to do what Moses did.
Yeah.
You will get to the promised land.
Right.
You're not striking the rock."
Right.
I said, "Okay, all right, all right. That's what it looked like." So came home. Well, take it back. Let's go back. So he said God gave me the option. He said, "You can go to Atlanta. You can go to Texas." I said, but right now, at this point, I'm bawling. I'm like in complete tears. I'm like, "God, I don't want to go. I just want to go wherever you want me to go."
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
ugly cry when ain't nobody looking.
Right. Oh yeah, it
And
gets
so,
real.
and so God said, "Well, that's a good choice." He said, "Well, look, I want to show you what would have suffered had you chosen Atlanta or Texas." He
Mm-hmm.
said, "There is some part of you that would have suffered because it's not the place where you needed to be." He
Mm.
said, like Lot. He said Lot tried to bargain with me. Say, "Hey, well, we know some things over. We know some people over there. Can we go over there?"
Mm-hmm.
And God was like, "No, that's not where I want you to go."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "As a matter of fact, now when you get on the road, don't look back."
Mm-hmm.
Wife looked back.
Mm-hmm.
That's somebody he loved,
Mm-hmm.
but she was gone
Yeah.
because she looked back.
Yeah.
So it taught me a few things. Anybody that was trying to force me to look at what was is not somebody that's going to be there when it becomes. So I had to
Wow.
it helped me easily reconstruct my friend group. Because people was like, hey man, hey, remember when you used to?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't remember. No,
Yeah.
bro, hey, just lighten up a little bit. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'll talk to you
Never.
never.
Yeah. Never. Never.
So it was that it had become that serious for me because what I was going through up there was
Yeah.
just a struggle, man.
Right.
And I wasn't willing to go back to that for nobody.
Yeah.
So you're talking about what was, it's not a thing for me no more. What
Yeah.
was is not a thing. What I'm doing right now is where I'm at. So let's talk about what I'm doing or where I'm going. Let's talk about those things.
Yeah.
And so when I came back, my mom started crying when I told her why. And she was like, I've been praying for God to do something.
Mm-hmm.
She said, because that man is tired and he don't have no help and
Mm-hmm.
nobody is thinking future.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, you don't gotta cry. I said, because I really don't fully know what I'm supposed to do yet.
Right.
God just told me, come.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here.
Yeah.
And so that's how. And so one day we started just doing Facebook Live. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't even like wasn't even a full production. It was just Facebook Live. Then pandemic happened,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, I can't just do Facebook Live. I have to figure out a way. I have to teach myself to do a real live stream.
Mm-hmm.
I have to do it for the sake of the brand of the church is what God wants me to help with,
Yeah.
and for somebody that's watching.
Mm-hmm.
And so we started to go live. That first Sunday, we went live. Well, we did the official live stream.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was June 7th. And it was 700 people on live.
Mm.
I said, 700 people watch this live?
Mm.
This is nuts. I said, people really, really want to see. And so every week, 700, 750, 800, 900 people.
Mm-hmm.
I said, the pandemic is really pulling people back to God.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so a lot of people would message me and be like, man, that prayer today, man. He said, people be like, you don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
Or your dad's, oh man, like, but it also helped me when they would, certain things they're coming on, helped me tweak the live stream.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is what people actually like. Let me put emphasis on this on the stream.
Now
Or,
you're saying something.
yeah.
Now you're saying something. And that is for all these creators out here. That's what I was trying to get to earlier. The creators out here who are so focused on whether or not people like something. Like just pay attention to the people who are
Mm-hmm.
paying attention and what is it that they are receiving from
Man, don't focus on what you think they like.
what you think they like.
Because it's probably not what they like.
It's not what they like, right? And you trying to force an agenda also is not going to work.
Yeah.
They'll tell it's going to happen. You just have to be locked in enough to know this is what it is, that this is how I'm growing from you.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm receiving from you. Okay, cool. I need to stay in my pocket.
For whoever it is that's like creating, that is a creator, wanting to be an influencer, there is something you currently do that somebody needs.
There you go. That's it.
It's not connected to what is the fab at that time.
No.
It is not connected to what society is buying into or what they just canceled somebody else for.
Yeah.
That's not your thing. What your thing is whatever God placed in your mind that keeps you up at night.
Yeah.
That thing that you continue to see. That's what's gonna make you go viral.
Yeah.
Right. And but for me, my focus is not going viral. My focus is just doing what's in my heart and in my mind at that time.
Yeah. The work is the work, right?
Yeah.
Like the work, whatever it is that you're supposed to do, is going to get what it's supposed to get.
For sure.
You focusing on viral, so to speak, because that associates with a number.
Yeah.
Right. And so maybe yours doesn't go viral, but maybe yours sparks someone else's viral. Right. And that may be your place. And people have to be okay with it. That's why I said about the destination.
Yeah.
Like you just don't know, right? And be faithful with that.
It's really cool to know that your life inspired somebody else when you was just doing it for fun.
Or you was just doing it.
Yeah. Or you was just doing it.
Yeah.
Like basketball is my first love. I always said I wanted to play pro. And then I went to college and ran track.
Right.
And then qualified for the Olympic trials. Like that was dope. And then I didn't go.
Yeah.
And people say, why you didn't go? I said, well, at the time when I qualified, I was also in between spaces trying to figure out if I was going to keep running or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to the coach, which is Coach Randolph Ross. Shout out to him. I told him, I said, hey, I came to school to be a black engineer. If I go the Olympic route, I don't have sponsorships right now. Meaning that, and I won't have finished my degree because I'm gonna flunk out.
Yeah.
I said, so now I don't have anything to fall back on. That contradicts everything that I actually believe.
Mm-hmm.
I said, so I gotta finish school. If it's meant for me to be in the Olympics, I'll still get there.
Yeah.
You know. So, but I think it's funny how God works because you still put me in the space of NBA.
Mm.
So I got my degree. I'm currently working in my field as a project engineer / project manager.
That's what we was missing right there.
That's what.
See how it just
I don't
come
count
around?
that. You know, I didn't
But
really count that.
it's part of it. It's part of it, man. It's
you know,
part of it.
it is. But it's funny that it just didn't come to my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But
came when it was supposed to.
Yeah. So I'm a project engineer. I currently work in my field, but the Griffins are directly connected to the NBA. So NBA, G League, TBL.
Mm-hmm.
Summer league is exactly the same time as NBA, meaning I'm gonna be sitting in the same building
Mm-hmm.
with NBA owners and general managers,
Scouts, all that.
scouts, and talking to them, having conversations. That's gonna ultimately make me a better person, but help me to help the Griffins brand get better and get bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So God still took me to the pros. I'm just not playing now.
Destination, man. I'm trying to tell you.
The plan is still the plan.
And if any point you would have gotten off, I'm telling you, man, it's powerful, man. It's very powerful. It's powerful. What can you leave the people with? Leave them with something. Encourage the audience, whoever's watching this, whoever's taking the time to watch this. Someone out there is at a point to where they are wanting to give up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they've tried many things.
Yeah.
They've prayed. Yeah. They've done all the things, read tarot cards, whatever it is that they do, right? And at this point, they're ready to give up. What would you tell the people who are watching who need that extra?
I will give you this, and it's of course it's going to be connected to scripture because that's who I am.
There you go.
And lately this story has really been on my mind. Ezekiel in the Valley of Dry Bones.
Mm-hmm.
People look at that and they marvel at the fact that he prophesied to dry bones.
Mm-hmm.
But what they don't tell you is that what he was feeling when he got there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The moral of that story is that it's not that he prophesied to dry bones, it's that he recognized that God took him to that place, which allowed him to still operate in his gift in a place that looked like death.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so for somebody that's watching and it's gotten hard, understand that God put you in that place. It's called divine alignment, right? Mm-hmm. And so meaning that there's something in you that God needs in that space.
I am super proud of you, man. And I know that you probably hear this a lot, but I want to say that, like, not necessarily for the reasons that you probably hear a lot about. I'm proud of the intentionality and the purpose in which all of it aligns. Yes. Right? I know a lot of people who do a lot of things, and they just all over the place with it. I feel like everything that I've seen that you're doing aligns with everything else that you're doing, and also aligns with your core values and your purpose, right? So you're not just out here just swinging, hoping to get it, like it all is connected to something, right? So proud of you for that, man. That you know, standing on becoming the man that you become and standing on what you believe in, and not letting anything sway you, no money, no nothing, sway you from who you are and who you become.